Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Duskpunk, where we are starting off today with a visit to the picket line. It's going to be all thumbs up and happy time today. Actually, we should probably start today with spending a skill point. What we got here? What do I think? I think endure, probably. Something tells me there might be some enduring involved at the picket line. One more thing. Do I want to eat before I go down there? Because we have secrets, right? I could, I believe, go down to the amphitheater, and you know, you know how we do. We could trade some scrap for relics. We were just given a bunch of scrap. I guess I'm gonna do that just so we have a relic on hand if we ever need one. And I guess I'm gonna do this as well. Down the hatch. Alright, and then we don't show up to the thing with a lot of money on our hands so that the cops can't beat us up and steal all our shit. Or they can, but they won't get very much. Alright, let's see how this goes. The factory is surrounded by a crowd of chanting workers. Not a bad turnout. Yeah, how's the energy compared to the last two strikes? Oh, way better. I think we've got a chance. Ruby, Grieve, Nazrin, how's the strike going, by your estimation? If you have time to chit-chat, you have time to help. Ruby grins sheepishly. Sure, love. What do you need? These people get hungry. We need to set up kitchen. Then we can maintain our strength for days. Okay, and what do you need for that? Well, we have the cooks, we have the stoves, we even have ingredients. We need only fuel. Okay, yeah, fuel I can get. It turns out I'm kind of an expert at getting fuel. Then I will consider this task done. Yeah, we're talking plasm, right? She wants some plasm. She wants, in fact, 2 tanks of plasm. Okay, that's a little more challenging, but certainly doable. I wouldn't necessarily want to wait until night, and in any case, we probably want to try to set up a way to, it's one thing for me to sneak in and steal plasm by hand for single person amounts. It's quite another thing for the movement, which might need the plasm at something closer to an industrial scale, to rely on that sort of thing. Let's see about finding like a long-term supplier here. So we're only looking at clean success on an 11 plus here. I think it's worth preparing on this. Then again, this is, you know what, because it's not, I bet this is just another one where it's mixed successes 1 and real successes 2. Then again, with mixed outcome being an 8+, honestly, it probably is even still, even so, worth preparing. Okay, it turns out success was 1+ rumor. You get into a promising conversation with a middle-class gentleman. Needed to run the estate, of course. Let me see, what was his name? Okay, so we might be able to secure some more plasm for them in the long term. We can also get a little head start going tonight. So let's head down to the yards, and I really don't want... So the mixed outcome on this, if I remember correctly, is... Yeah, it's a bump up of yard security. I really don't want that to happen, but if we're talking about success, a clean success on a 6+, we can just plan to stress. I'm gonna try to get it done fast. All right, 2 tanks, not too bad. And then I'm gonna go and sell some of our whispers because I would love to go back to the playbill and nope, not the playbill. Sorry, the music hall and attend an operetta without preparing for it. No, you know what? I think I will prepare for it. Right, I'm gonna get the bonding with staff thing finished anyway. Yeah, we'll just take it like that. -2 stress is good enough. You let yourself relax just a little bit, which is enough to unfuck my dice. And now we know the staff a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to get out of that, but presumably it is something. Do we want to attend another one? Like, converting groats into stress relief is like very efficient here. I think I do. I think I'm gonna do one more. Nice. You let the music wash over you and find yourself smiling. Why, it's almost exactly the same as that highly addictive drug. Okay. Not too bad. It feels like I should be doing something for the war dad watching this clock advance, but I don't think I can be, right? Like, I don't think that's one of the things we have direct access to. We're waiting and seeing. I have to go for the weapons heist in order for the cops to catch the lich dealers there, I guess. Oh, one problem at a time. Let's do this first. The kitchens need fuel. With food in their bellies, the strikers can fight harder. Henry fires up the stoves. All right, food's in an hour. Good. The stoves are lit and the volunteer cooks get to work. And ask around for dishwasher help. If you have a wife or child at home, they can even help like this. Everything okay? There are always 100 things to do, but we're ready now. Now we give every worker food, as well as pay. Yeah, it's not much, but it's enough to survive. Honestly, that might make it better than what they were getting while the factory was running. In this city, that is already much. As you turn to leave, she raises her fist. For Union! Hell yeah, for Union. Okay, so... we're still not really known on the docks. If we're going to accelerate this lich dealers thing, I guess this is a pretty reasonable time. Oh, right. The ossuary wants me to steal a tooth. I told her I would do that. And it does seem, you know, it does seem worthwhile. Wait, as the strike continues... let's, I guess, consider movement on this. But first, we've encountered a cluster of kiosks in Printer Square. As you approach, a man inside catches your eye and comes to the window. Can I help you, madam? Need a letter written to your loved ones, perhaps? Let's take a second to study this man. He's in his 50s, his hair gray and wiry. He wears a threadbare waistcoat and a shirt with ink-stained cuffs. What are these kiosks for? Well, this is Scrivener's Corner, friend. I can guarantee excellent script, only the finest calligraphy. Well, why do people need scribes these days? Well, we used to be much more popular back when fewer people knew their letters, and when printing were dearer. But a fair few people still can't read or are embarrassed about their spelling. No, but there's always one or two who go to the effort of having something writ for a special occasion. Oh, well, I don't really need anything written. His face falls. Ah, that's a damn shame. Are you sure I can't tempt you? Costs only a groat. There's 40 years of penmanship in these hands. If it's words, I can make 'em shine. A groat? I have a groat. Why don't you write me something about the scavenger? Say no more. He draws a creamy sheet of paper from a bundle and readies his quill with a tap-tap on the glass of the inkwell. His fingers pass over the page in slow arcs and spirals, like a comet drawing its tail behind it. Finally, he lays a sheet of blotting paper on the ink, then gently removes it. There. Taking the luxurious paper, you scan the page, the letters tumbling in loops and whirls. When the world seems bleak, remember, you have all you need, if you can only see it from above the confusion. The Scavenger's Hymn, they call it. Had a lot of requests for that lately. Alright, I'm not going to tell him I don't care for it. That feels needlessly rude. It's wonderful. Something about the words and the script moves you. You didn't expect to find something beautiful today. I personally am not really moved by it because it's just kind of... It feels like one of those things where it's like, oh, if you just calm down, you'll find that your material concerns aren't actually real. And then it's like, no, they're real. No, this is just wrong. Here you go, man. A groat for you. Thank you kindly. Enjoy that. Maybe frame it. You turn away from the yard and back into the city, rolling the paper carefully and tucking it in your pocket. I mean... Okay, so we've secured a market. Prices are high because supply is limited. Most plasm goes straight to the Emperor. That said, I could contribute plasm to them now. Alright, so we know this whole situation about the foreman down here. Do I want to bribe the foreman, or do I want to try to get myself into something without doing so, thus hastening another confrontation with the foreman? It's probably not that, right? Like, if I knew how to fight a little bit, maybe. I think I probably wanna secure some cash, which at this point I don't have a huge number of ways of doing. I guess I should be accumulating rumors to trade for a tip-off. Pleasure doing business with you, he sneers. Now let me see. Ah, yes. Cool, crate hauling. Love to haul a crate. This cargo won't unload itself. You haul the crates step by step, steady. 5 groats. Wow, I'm really rolling badly on this. Can I please see a 6+? I don't feel like it's that much to ask for. There's even breath left for small talk. Okay, so you don't really get all that much out of this. Well, it was worth discovering anyway. That's what I think. All right, and then we're gonna trail him. I mean, I think we just go for the move, right? I don't have any energy, and that makes me a little nervous. But energy's not that common of a penalty. My concern is always that we will get penalized energy, and then because we don't have any, it'll turn into a worse penalty of some kind. The game will be like, unable to pay for the energy, you lose 4 health instead. You know what? Let's just go for the shipment. And when we go for the shipment, the cops will show up, right? And everything will turn into the situation. Everything will turn into the situation. You burst into the warehouse, swinging left and right. Dresden wades into the carnage. That crate, that's it. Half a dozen thugs scurry over and heave the crate into the center of the hall. Grieve, get it open. You smash the lock and heave the crate open to reveal rows of gleaming rifles. Beautiful. And then the bluecoats. Hands on your heads. Every window and doorway bristles with them. Without warning, the watch have the gang surrounded. Oh, it's a setup, lads. Hands on your head or we shoot. Dresden snarls like a cornered animal. Then, slowly, he puts his hands on his head. The rest of the gang do the same. An officer shackles you and drags you out into the street. You see Dresden dragged into a watch cruiser. But as he reaches the doors, he turns. I'm not stupid, he roars. Someone fucking talked. I will find you, he snarls. I'll make it my life's purpose to hunt you down, you parasite, and wipe you away like fucking scum. A few hours later, you're back in the watch house interview room. You did good. Knox is going away for a long time. And he's never getting out, right? Well, I shouldn't think so. We've got confessions from a dozen gang members. He's going away for a long time. This is one of the lines on his soundboard. The city will breathe a little easier without the dealers. And the dockers won't have to bribe the gang to get work. I don't know why I'm bringing that up with the cop. He doesn't care. True enough. That watcher should be happy, I suppose. You know Brother Redcheck? Well, I've just heard of some crazy priest facing down murderous thugs. Good for him, I say. This is a super crazy question to bring up with the cop. Solace is illegal, right? I guess I don't... Maybe it's not. Maybe I've been drawing analogs too closely to real-world things. I think it's illegal. Will the poor quarter still get its solace? Your heart jumps. What about your supply? Not sure. Don't think you can stamp out that kind of trade overnight. Maybe one day. The officer finishes his tea and stands. Well, it's been an eventful night. I'm off to bed. I suggest you do the same. Good work, citizen. The city needs people like you. Okay. Having gotten rid of the lich dealers, I feel pretty good about that, regardless of how Redcheck is going to feel about it. You drop by the Arclight. Zai's just heading out. Ahoy. Feel like something reckless? I mean, pretty much, yeah. Zai grins. She nods, satisfied, and shoulders her way through the smog. You follow her into the maze of crucible streets. Shh. She puts a finger to her lips and nods up ahead. A watch cruiser is parked up ahead. 2 bluecoats are loitering around the vehicle. Say, what are we doing? Shh. You see that searchlight? She points to the bulb bolted to the vehicle's roof, casting a beam of pale blue onto the street ahead. We're gonna jack it. How are we doing that exactly? I just need a distraction. She slips into the smog. I'm gonna throw something. Call out brings the cops toward me. Throw something brings the cop toward where I threw the thing. You find a stone and throw it along the street. You hear breaking glass. The officers swear and plod over to investigate. I would not have thrown that in such a way that it could have broken glass. I would have been a lot lower with it, but fine. She clambers onto the cruiser and goes to work on the lamp. I am going to help her unfasten it. I'm good at this kind of stuff, right? We should be able to do this real fast. You hop up to help. Take a screwdriver and get to work, troublemaker. Suddenly you hear footsteps. The bluecoats are coming back. Well, I'm not going to fight them. I guess I'll turn the car on? You wrench open the door and climb into the driver's seat. You're faced with a dizzying number of switches and levers. You push them at random, and the cruiser coughs into life. Get us out of here! The cruiser speeds along 2 narrow lanes and twisting alleyways. Soon the shot... Okay, I'm just operating the car and without... Okay, that's fine. I'm an engineer. I reckon you're a bad influence on me, she grins. When you reach the Arclight, she pulls the cruiser around the back. Zai pats the searchlight still attached. So, what are you going to do with that? Hook it up to the light system, but I'll do it later. You walk into the Arclight. Zai slaps her metal hand on the bar. Messing with the watch, eh? Never gets old. The bar is silent. The patrons study their drinks. Zai, I don't know how to tell you this. We just got word. Spit it out. Your dad. He didn't make it. How do you know? He passes her a folded telegram. Zai opens it and reads. She breathes in shakily. It sounds like a rusted window being forced shut. Everybody out. Bar's closed. Yeah, if you need anyone to talk to, you know. I said out! As you turn to leave, she unlatches her metal arm from her shoulder. She cradles it in her other hand. Each time a tear falls onto the metal, she wipes it off quickly. That scene was... I mean, it turned around quick, huh? Alright, if we were to take another point of endure, we'd get one more maximum energy. I guess that's pretty good to have. And for one thing, you know, if we're good at anything here, it is enduring this place and its vicissitudes. So I guess we could get to work on that tooth. Start casing the crypts out here. We could just bribe the watchman, but I'd rather. Man, it is a real bummer that sneaking is not an option here. Would I rather blackmail them or bribe them? Because I don't think I'm winning a fight with these guards. Yeah, that doesn't that doesn't seem super likely. So the question is, like, how do I want them to take this? I feel like if you bribe them, it doesn't give them that huge of an incentive not to flip on you. Obviously, they would get in trouble for taking the bribe. The blackmail puts some stakes on it for them, but it also dramatically increases resentment. I'm just gonna bribe them, I guess. And we're gonna approach this very carefully. Think through my my social approach here. Okay. The guard accepts before you reach your final offer. This job has its perks, he winks. Okay. Didn't even have to pay him the full bribe I was prepped to do. So that ought to be easy enough to fix, or to finish, rather, later. Oh, I am low on energy. I do need to eat, that's true. I'll just eat at the tavern. That's fine. That'll handle us for now. Rough sleep, unfortunately. You awake to the ringing of church bells. The streets are thronged with people. A family pushes past you in the crush. Let's see the estate district. The bridges are open. Blessings on St. Cecilia. Wandering to the riverside, you see the girl is right. The toll booths on the bridges are wide open, with crowds streaming in both directions. The whole city is open to you. Oh. Is that... I wonder if that's a seasonal thing? Like, if we'd gotten to this point without buying the passes, you know, from now on? Or if it's just like a one-day thing. The docks feel different today. Dockers mill back and forth, laughing and singing workers' songs. Let me ask where the old foreman went. You approach a group of dockers and ask where to find the old foreman. With the rest of the filth. He spits and points to the north. You come to a cesspit on the edge of the old town. The smell is ripe. Rotten food, meat, and excrement. And chained to one side of the cesspit is the old foreman moaning gently. A sign has been hung around his neck. Traitor. I'm leaving him there. He deserves far worse. But if this is where the old foreman ended up, does that mean there's a new one? You head back towards the main warehouse square, where the crowd seem to be thickest. The square is packed. At the far end, a familiar figure reads from a clipboard list. And finally, you nudge the woman next to you. What's the priest doing here? New foreman, just elected. Now shush. The priest clears his throat. The square goes silent. Axel Pratt, Michael Blutt, and Samsony Aegis. 3 people step forward. Alright, that's all for today, but we've more work tomorrow. 50 slots. If you want to see who's up next, just check the lists. He points to huge sheets of paper pasted onto a billboard. This is a list of names. A red pin has been stuck next to one. The pin is labeled Up Next. So, what you think of the new system? How does it work? The dockers voted on it, see? Each worker puts their name on this waiting list. Foreman doesn't pick and choose anymore, just goes one name at a time. Dealers would never have allowed it. And how did you become the new foreman? Well, I'm trusted among the dockers. have given last rites to their husbands and worked against the dealers. So they took a vote. I was honored. The docks are free, thanks to you. Yeah, I didn't feel the need to rub it in necessarily. You hear a shuffling from behind you and turn to see a crowd of dockers, at least 100. One steps forward. The Watcher told us what you did, madam. We're grateful. He pushes a bundle into your hands. We took up a collection. It was the least we could do. We got some finery and some groats and a bit of ambergris. For a moment, you're too surprised to speak, but then you aren't anymore. Number 4 is a fucked up thing to say here. This is far too generous. He smiles sadly. Let us worry about that, friend. The crowd shuffle away. They use up their savings to give you that parcel. Maybe they need it more than I do? You risked your life spying on the dealers. You deserve it. He pats you on the shoulder. Well, Foundling, the docks are free of the gangs. Good work. So, like, the games that are designed like this, they want you to be able to succeed at your tasks, right? I fear that things like this often get represented as being so much simpler and easier than they are in real life that it's sort of, I don't know. I had this problem with Hard Space Shipbreaker too, right? Where it was like the plot there focuses around a big labor strike, and it's I'm all for more pro labor media, but I feel like things get misrepresented in such a way that it poses the wrong questions about why we haven't had a successful labor movement in the United States in the last 80 years, when the actual answer is the hurdles are much higher than that, and the violence is much more present. Like, nobody here had to deal with any bleach bombs, but that's what it's like in real life to strike. I don't know. I don't want to seem like, I don't want to come across too harsh. I don't want to seem like I'm like my criticisms are too great. It's just I do sometimes wish that the scale of the problem were more faithfully represented, at least sort of like thematically and metaphorically, if not, down to the actual physical detail. Anyway, minor issues. So we've done a lot of really good work here then. We've secured... I guess we can study the tombs. We may learn something of the city's history. That's not really what we're looking for. I need to wait for the guards to come back on shift. I can just go and make money somewhere. We could continue hauling crates on the docks or something. Or not. I could rob this ship. This is a lich barge. I don't really want to rob the lich barge. Yeah, we could just haul some crates. I just want to make some money right now, I think. And whispers, which are better than money. All the other stuff that we're going to do is really more nighttime type stuff. Does the strike need anything right now? I don't really want to take pay and food from the strike. I mean, we could man the picket line. That's probably helpful. Let's see what exactly that yields. So I'm pretty good at endure. Chant, shout, sing, and hold the line against those who'd break the strike. Hours pass. By the end, you're singing at the top of your lungs, waving a Union flag like a maniac. Okay, so this grants us solidarity when we succeed at it. And unfortunately, I have no idea how mechanically meaningful that is. Yeah, Zai's not around for the moment. That's not a huge surprise. Trying to see if there's anything else interesting available in any of these locations at the moment. We could sell the ambergris. I don't know what else I'm going to do with ambergris. Let's, yeah, let's try. You're able to get a good price out of a shopkeeper with deep pockets. That is pretty good. That is a pretty good price. And then I guess we could just, like, hang out around here and eavesdrop. Oof. You sidle up to a group of shoppers, and they clock you instantly. Can we help you, friend? Their tone makes it clear you are not their friend. Let me give that another shot. There we go. This woman is bursting with news, her lined face twitching with excitement as she tugs her friend aside. Lingering one stall over, you pick up some juicy details. Okay, so it's a little bit more information. I don't know that I particularly... I mean, like, 2 rumors for nothing. If we were to reveal gossip here, we could be doing more agitation. If they become fully agitated, more radical actions may become available. You know, let's share some of the gossip we've gotten a hold of. There's nothing the have-nots like more than dragging the haves off their high horse. It's shocking. The arrogance, the hypocrisy. Wow, apparently that was enough to fully agitate them. The club grows louder and louder, the members more and more agitated. Down with the Emperor! Down with the war! The comrades spill out into the street, chanting slogans. Okay. For now, chaos. The club will return to normal soon enough. At which point we can maybe make a real call for action if we have enough revolutionary ideas, and perhaps listening to speeches might be a good way to get some of those. Or perhaps I just can't follow the logic of the speeches. I'm not going to force the reroll here because we're close to the break threshold again. And it might pop during the night. We might flip over during the night, but we can stay above until then. So let's finish bribing the watchman. And then attempt to retrieve this tooth. Pretty decent success chances, but let's take a moment, study the place, try to figure out where exactly we are headed. Earl Mandeville's here somewhere. The ossuary wants one of his teeth. Let's fetch a tooth. You locate the Mandeville crypt, a gothic nightmare overflowing with obscene female statues. It's the work of a moment to crack the lid and pry a molar from the back of his skull. Alright, hopefully that wasn't just like a she had me followed in there thing. Because that would be an easy way to discredit me or get me arrested or something. In front of the Imperial Palace, you find a statue. And as always, we read the plaque first. The plaque reads, Griselda I, the Sulphur Queen. The figure is a towering queen 12 feet high, crowned with a diadem and formal chain of office. But the coat she wears is a military officer's, and a belt of ammunition tumbles from her outstretched hands. Yeah, that is quite a lot of ammunition, actually. You remember Griselda now. It's a tale told to all Cerumean school children. As the story goes, Griselda, perhaps 200 years ago, inherited a dwindling empire. With Serum's economy weakening and its army using outdated equipment and ammunition, she made a fateful decision to target a little-known Panacrian colony. The name of the place escapes you. The army invaded, and the locals did not give ground easily. The generals insisted on retreat. You can picture the generals in their tents, sipping gin, smoking cigars as messengers rush in to report the casualties of a front line they'll never see. But Griselda refused to give up. Her sources told her that the land held vast deposits of sulfur and iron, so she pushed the attack. Finally, the capital fell, and Sarum sunk their mine shafts. Sulfur and steel flowed back to Dredgeport, the ingredients Sarum had badly needed for war machines and ammunition. And from that time onward, Serum's armies have never been defeated. You gaze up at the statue's face. Stern, superior. Did she carve out the world you live in today, or just bend it to her advantage? You turn back to the city. You can't help wondering how much of the story is true. I'm sure it's a reporting of a version of a thing that happened, right? All right, we did that. We may as well take it back to the club, I think. Grieve, so you made it here on your own 2 feet. Congratulations. Oh, did I not need to bring you that tooth? I thought I should call on my patron because I finished the thing you wanted. The gesture is appreciated. You are welcome at the Bonehorde Club. As a fountain of gossip and illicit information, it may be useful to you. But please keep your work discreet. I would hate to offend the customers. Yeah, okay. Thank you. So I guess I'm in. Did I not need to give her that tooth? Ah, okay. I was supposed to give the teeth to a jeweler. Well, that seems like a thing to do during the daytime. Oh, right. Also, a thing to do right now would be to eat food. I like tavern food. What can I say? Okay. The nightmares are getting pretty bad. And I'm really worried about what's going to happen with the Night Watch. All right, if I go back here now, right, I got to go to the jeweler. Did they say, was it High Street or? I mean, I guess I could set it as my current goal, and it will keep things straight for me. Okay, deliver tooth. The jeweler gasps when you hand over the tooth. The client won't be disappointed. Come back in a few days. Ain't that always the way? I don't know that we actually need this finery. What's going on over here? You come upon a strange sculpture. Read the plaque, as ever. You planned to read the plaque in memory of Tal Carter, taken from his community by the war to end the world, depicted here with the tools he used in life. You realize this was Zai's father. It's a male form wrought in iron. The face is surprisingly lifelike, but hidden behind a pair of illuminated goggles. The back of the statue is a mass of twisted metal. I find it both. I think it is expressive, and one of the things it's expressing is ominousness. I do find it really is quite a creepy statue. You find it ominous, like metal claws reaching. The whole thing is lit from within by a plasma lamp. A lamp like this doesn't require much fuel, but this is still a significant investment. Somebody cared about this sculpture enough to commit to providing ongoing fuel. The statue holds various tools, a compass, a spanner. Peering closely, you can see that each bears a manufacturing mark. These were once tools, but they were welded onto the statue. Peering at the goggles, you see they too are repurposed originals. The leather strap is worn. Inspecting the back, you see that the twisted metal is dozens of tools fused together. Oh yeah, okay, I guess I kind of see that. You turn away. The sculpture hums quietly behind you. Well, at least Zai's keeping herself busy. And then we're just waiting on some stuff. I'll tell you what. I hate to shortchange a couple episodes in a row here, but I do think that maybe this is actually an okay place to stop, given my time constraints for the day. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We have bolstered our allies on many fronts today, and for the moment, we're just waiting to see the fruits of those collaborations. So come back next time for all of that, and possibly also, some consequences. And we'll see you then.